Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm your host D-Day, bringing you my Path of Exile Expedition Challenge Guide for challenges 1 through 12, so that you can unlock the expedition footprints. This channel focuses on challenges for the individual leagues in Path of Exile, so if you want to check out the playlist that I have, each episode in that playlist covers one challenge that I completed. So if you're in a hurry, or if you're looking for a specific challenge, hover over the red progress bar for chapters, and don't forget to smash like to show your appreciation. My episode 1 covered Complete Expedition Encounters 1, which was super simple. All we had to do was speak to Gwyneth and complete the tutorial. My episode 2 covered Getting Started with Gems, which was also very simple. Support a socketed skill gem with 2 or more support gems. So what you have to do is you have to find a 3 linked item, which has 3 sockets, and link 2 of the gems to the primary gem. Also, you have to activate an aura skill gem, which in my case was Discipline, and a guard skill gem, which I went out of my way to get Steel Skin, but I could have gotten it when I attained Immortal Call later on. Episode 3 was about Defeat These Act Bosses 1, which if you're playing story mode and you're trying to get to endgame, you will be defeating these 5 bosses in each of the first 5 acts. It's unavoidable. Challenge number 4 is Complete These Quests. These are all going to be optional side quests, not required to progress in the main storyline, so these can be missed on your first playthrough. Through Sacred Ground is acquired from Yina in Act 2, where she requires you to get the Golden Hand from the Crypt. An Indomitable Spirit, you get that quest from Tasuni in Act 4, where you have to free Deshret's spirit in the mines. The Puppet Mistress, you obtain that quest from Tarkley in Act 6, where he requires you to slay Rislotha. The Reflection of Terror, you get that quest from Sin in Act 8, where he requests you to slay Yugal. And the final quest, Map to Tsawatha, you get that from the best character in the game, Captain Lily, in Act 10, where she requires you to find the teardrop in the Reliloquy. Challenge number 5 was another one that was unavoidable if you were heading towards maps and beating the game. It is Defeat These Act Bosses 2, which are the second half act bosses from Act 6 through Act 10. So to progress through the story mode, you would have to defeat these bosses anyway. It's unavoidable. Alright, so at this point we completed the story mode, and the next challenge, challenge number 6, was Complete Encounters 1, which this one's a little bit complicated. Modify a strongbox. When you come across a strongbox going through any zone or any map, sometimes they'll be in white normal quality. So all you have to do is modify them by right-clicking on an orb of transmutation and left-clicking on the strongbox. You can either do that, or you can use an orb of chance to try to get a random quality strongbox. Completing a prophecy. Once you hit maps, I would recommend using your silver coins to seek prophecies from Navali. And then while you're running your maps, you will have these pop occasionally. You don't even have to be paying attention, just as long as you continue to seek new prophecies to fill up the ones that you're completing. Completing an encounter at the Bestiary Blood Altar. This is the part of the challenge that I had to go out of my way for. You will be capturing various beasts while playing zones and while playing maps, as long as you do the Einhar dailies. And when you go to the Bestiary Blood Altar in the Menagerie, you have a blood altar that you can click on for various crafting recipes, and you have to select any of those and complete it, and you'll get credit for that in this quest. And then the final one for Complete Encounters 1 is Defeat a Possessed Monster, which this will happen by chance. The tormented spirits that fly around, they look like green ghosts. You have to allow one of them to jump into a rare monster, so a yellow titled monster. When it jumps inside, you have to slay that monster, you'll get extra loot, and you'll get this credit as well. So our 7th challenge is Complete Encounters 2. Cracking open an Essence Monolith will most likely happen during your story mode playthrough whenever you see a circle of monsters that look like they're frozen in ice. When you click on them and break it open and defeat them for their essences, you get credit for this quest. Kill a Keepers of the Trove Bloodline Pact. My super simple strategy for this is just keep playing the game. Eventually, one of the magic mobs, one of the packs, will have this modifier on it, and you'll get it without even trying. Same thing with kill a rare monster with Inner Treasure. Just keep playing the game, and when you defeat a rare monster that has this, you'll get credit for it. It's just a matter of time. Also, defeat Thom Imperial. That was the one that triggered the challenge for me. Thom Imperial is a rogue exile. So I ran into him while doing maps, but there are map modifiers that you can use. You can use Zana modifiers to get more rogue exiles in your maps, and eventually you'll run across Thom Imperial and get credit for this quest. Our challenge number 8 is Complete Expedition Encounters 2. This one for me, again, was very RNG related. The way these work is every time you do an Expedition League mechanic and you blow up the runic monsters, you have a chance for those runic monsters to be rare. So their name will be in yellow. And you have to slay a rare version of each one of these categories, which I believe the last one that I covered was the Runed Knight. That one was the last one to pop for me. But again, just keep playing the Expedition League mechanic and eventually you'll get credit for all of these. Our challenge number 9 is defeat these unique monsters. All of these monsters are going to be unique monsters that you come across in story mode. Most of these guys, I would say 3/4 of them, I ran over them while playing story mode. And there was like a handful, I think 5 of them, that in my episode 9, I went back and I found out where they were and I defeated them to get credit for this quest. They're super simple, you just have to go a little bit out of your way to find them. I'll go ahead and I'll leave the locations to all of these unique monsters in the description below for you guys. Our 10th challenge was Complete Expedition Encounters 4, which to me is always funny. Every league, I complete challenges 1, 2, and it always skips number 3, and I always complete number 4. It's kind of silly the way they make these numbers. But it's opening excavated chests, which specifically reward each of the following reward types. I got most of these in my very first logbook adventure, doing the 18 to 20 Expedition League mechanic. I blew up most of these reward types in one go. And then I believe in my episode 10, the last one that we were stuck on was Legion. So I went out of my way to grab the Legion one and we got credit for this quest. But all of these are going to be inside of Expedition logbooks. Our next to last challenge, challenge number 11, is Destroy Expedition Remnants, which again, this is more of an RNG related challenge. Going through story mode gathered most of these guys. Every single time you pop a zone with an Expedition League mechanic, each runic tombstone has a modifier attached to it, and you just have to break each one of these modifiers. And there's a whole bunch of modifiers, and I believe the one that was the very last one that took me the longest to find was Monsters Hits Remove Mana and Energy Shield. And in episode 11 we finally found that one, and as soon as it blew up, we got credit for this quest. So just keep playing the game, keep doing Expedition League mechanics, and you'll eventually get this one. And the final challenge for challenge number 12 that we did in this series is use these currency items, which again, using an Orb of Transmutation, I believe I got that with the modifying a strongbox, so I used it that way. Orb of Chance, you can use that on any white item to give it a chance to turn into a magic, a rare, or a unique version of that base type. Orb of Alchemy, I use those on maps white maps, you use a Orb of Alchemy on them to turn them into rare so that you get more item quantity drops. Jeweler's Orbs, they change the amount of sockets on an item. I believe I did that on either my chest piece or on my sword. Orb of Fusing changes how many links there are in between those jewel sockets. Cartographer's Chisels, use those to add quality to your maps, which I would highly recommend using 4 of them on your white maps. If you use a Cartographer's Chisel on a white map, you get 5 quality. If you use it on a blue map, you get 2. If you use it on a rare or a unique, you only get 1. So to chisel a map to 20%, you only need 4 on a white one, but you'd need 20 on a unique or a rare. The Enkindling Orb and the Instilling Orb are the orbs that we used in episode number 12. They modified my 2 flasks to have additional enchantments on it, which are pretty cool. I haven't really played it that much to really notice a huge difference in the quality, but if you look down at my flasks, my number 2 and my number 4 have an additional graphic attached to it, so that is one thing that I did notice. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please smash like to help this channel grow, and consider subscribing for the rest of this playlist, which I will be progressing past challenge number 12 all the way to challenge number 37. So that we can get the totems for this league as well.